place.
It's not on, Josh.
And I am an environmental activist. Now is it on? How I got that way. I grew up on my great-grandfather's donation land claim in eastern Grays Harbor County. He came in 1871 and built a family home. And we've had several, we're into the 7th generation now. My great-grandsons are the 7th generation from occupying Washington. I grew up in a fertile valley with farms and salmon-bearing streams, orchards and gardens and forests. It was rich heaven. It was a Garden of Eden. As I was growing up, the Depression came along, and the Depression was the Great Depression. And I remember it very well. It was a happy time. All my family and all my aunts and uncles and all the neighbors worked together. They shared everything. They lived off the land. They had huge orchards and gardens. They went hunting, they went fishing. It was a great time of sharing, swapping, and trading things, doing things for each other. The only person in our family that could get a job was my mother. She was an RN, a registered nurse, and she worked for the Red Cross during the bad times and the good times. And I thought, aha, by the time I was 5 years old, I was determined to be a nurse. After I got out of high school, I came to Tacoma General Hospital for a nursing program, thinking I would get out in time to be in World War II as in the nurses corps, but the war was over before I graduated. I got married and immediately started to have a family, although it wasn't really planned. I have to tell you that I have 7 children. The 7th one was born 50 years ago when the pill went on the market. I'm going to tell you how I got into environmentalism. In June, bright, wonderful summer day in June, about 1953 or 1954, my 3 little boys played out in the yard. We had a big old cherry tree they loved to climb in and play. That day the air turned terrible in Tacoma. You could hardly breathe. It was the worst inversion, I'm sure, they'd had for years. By the end of the day, every leaf on my cherry tree had shriveled up and fallen off the tree. And I thought, if that does that to the cherry tree, what does it do to my little boys? That was the beginning of the campaign to get rid of the smelter. The tests that the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department did showed heavy loads of arsenic, cadmium, lead, everything you could think of in the fingernail and hair of the children in our elementary schools around Ruston in North Tacoma. So the smelter built the stack 50 feet higher. That saved the children in North End of Tacoma, but then pretty soon the kids of Maury Island were full of lead, cadmium, etc. Finally, the smelter's gone. All of the dirty earth they created is still bothering us. As I began to have a family, I wanted them to have the same experience I had in nature, to be close to the forests and the streams, the wonderful products of our environment. I saw them disappearing, and I heard people speaking about that. We were cutting way beyond sustainability, we were fishing beyond sustainability, and we still are. Don't be fooled. The things that I valued most, I wanted my kids to see. We moved to rural university place. People said, what do you want to live way out there for? It was a big clear cut. I wish I'd bought 20 acres. It's not way out there anymore. It's subdivision city. But my kids all had fun, and we went to the homestead in Grays Harbor County, and they loved that. As I got more and more into what the environment was doing, I saw that we really need to work hard to preserve the natural places, the National Wildlife Refuges, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife lands, the DNR's wonderful lands, all those things that belong to the public. We need to be sure they're secure, well guarded, and restricted from the things that destroy them. I began to study, and I joined organizations, and I took courses at PLU, and I took courses at UPS, and I went to seminars and all kinds of things to learn everything I could about natural sciences and about the limits of our growth. And I had some really interesting times. I met some wonderful people. I've got some good friends in government circles. My congressman has always been my very best friend in that area, has been a great supporter. We have wildlife refuges that you need to know about if you don't already in this state. They're wonderful, and we need to protect them. We also have wildlife, and we still have salmon, luckily. The biggest fisheries on Earth was the Grand Banks cod fishery on the eastern part of the peninsula, of Massachusetts in that. And that was fished clear out. There are no cod back there. And so we need to watch what we're doing here. As a wrap-up, my 7 kids have followed, I think, pretty much in my attitude toward what we do with the earth and how we love it. I wish I'd have brought my binoculars. She brought her flute, he brought his beautiful machine. I'm often seen with binoculars, and I'll probably be in that till the day I can't get out anymore, looking for more birds. And my favorite natural resource, the Nisqually Delta. Go down and walk the new boardwalk. It's heaven. Thank you.